Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about the books that I read in January. So I know it's literally March when I'm filming this. Well, actually, I started filming one for January and February, and it was just really not going well. So we're gonna do them separate and hope that that works. So, if you're new here, my name's Cassie, and I really like to read books, so I made a channel about it. And we just talk about books. This is literally only my second video, so far we've only talked about books, but today we're going to talk about my January reads. So my January reading stats are: I read a total of 8 books, 6 romance. Out of those 6 are 2 YAs, 1 dark romance, and 1 fantasy. And I read 4,022 pages. So the first book I read this year was Hopeless by Elsie Silver. I had been reading the Chestnut Spring series like in the end of December, so this was just like finishing it up. So this was Bo and Bailey's story. If you haven't heard of the Chestnut Springs, they follow like it's an interconnected standalone series. And so you don't have to read them in order. I did. I think I like that. Or I just like reading things in order. It's just how I roll. And so I read it in order, and so this is the last one. This was Bailey and Bo's story. It is arranged, or not arranged, I would say fake engagement and slash like dating engagement, and I really liked it. A lot of people, this is like their least favorite book, but I personally really liked it. I gave it 5 stars, but I give almost like every Elsie Silver book I've read 5 stars. Also, I should preface this by saying I'm not a very picky reader. Like I give basically everything 5 star. Like I give a majority of my reads 5 star, and I feel like I've tried to be more picky, or like not picky, just like have a think of a star as more of a like higher up like perfect book, and then like 4 star. But also I've just been kind of giving every book I read 5 stars still, so it hasn't really worked. But I gave it 5 star personally. I really liked it. It was really good. And then the next book I read was Vow of Deception by Rena Kent. This is the first book in, I think it's just called the Deception trilogy. So far, I haven't continued it. I haven't decided if I want to or not. I gave it 2 stars. Um, I haven't decided if I wanted to continue or not. I know there's like a whole reading order to read the like Renaverse in, and like they're all connected and all that stuff. And I definitely didn't start with the first one. I kind of started like with an early one, I think, but I give it 2 stars. It's a dark romance, and it wasn't bad. I was just basically the whole time I was confused. The ending did like I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming at all. It was very surprising, and that's like probably the only reason I would continue it. I'm kind of thinking that if I want to get into reading her, I think I want to do the I was looking up like some people's videos like where you should start, and a lot of people said start with I think it's the monster series or whatever. I Now I could be remembering wrong, but I think that's the one where like she I don't really remember. But anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about that. Um but yeah, basically this guy, I think he's in the mafia, or like is it Russian mafia or just regular? I think it's regular. What? He's in some sort of mafia, I think. I don't know. I read this 2 months ago. um but his wife dies and he has a kid, and so he finds this like doppelganger on the streets and takes her in and is like, "Hey, you should be my wife." And so she does, because otherwise he'd probably like, she might die. And so she marries him and like basically sits in as his wife, like becomes his wife, like and stuff like that. But and then like some weird stuff happens, like there's ghosts or something. I kind of forget. Clearly, I read this 2 months ago. Anyway, it was like kind of fun. It was just not I don't think it was I was expecting. I haven't decided if I want to continue it. We shall see. Keep you updated. If you're gonna read it, I would probably search up the trigger warnings. Warnings, can I talk? Because it is a dark romance. So, the next book I read, I have the physical copy of. It's Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. It's the first book in the Boys of Tommen series, and I am absolutely obsessed with the series. I'm currently reading Taming 7, like I'm literally halfway through it right now, and I really like it so far. Everybody like a lot of people say they don't like it, but we're not talking about that one. We're talking about this one. So this one follows Shannon Lynch and Joey Kavanaugh. I think that's how I say it. And basically, Shannon moves. Oh no, my book. Shannon moves to this different school. It's also set in Ireland. Um, it's set in like 2005 or something Ireland, something like that. Hold on, let me look. It's set in 2005 Ireland, and it follows Shannon Lynch and Johnny Kavanaugh. And basically, Shannon goes to this new school, and because she was having like trouble at her other one, I'm trying not to. I'm making sure. Okay, it does say on the back. She was being bullied at her other school. That's not a spoiler. It says on the back. And so her parents finally let her move to this private school to hopefully it will be better. And basically, she meets Johnny. Johnny's like, what is he, 17 in this one, and she's 15. Yeah. So basically, she meets Johnny. Johnny is this like really good rugby player, and like he's like even out of school, he's like playing for like the not like national, but like a big league. I'm homeschooled and I don't know sports, so this is my sport. But so he's like really big into rugby. It's basically his whole life. Like he doesn't really have like serious girlfriends and stuff, but he's struggling with this injury, but he doesn't want to tell anyone because he's already had to have have surgery, but it's like not getting better. But he's not telling anyone because he just wants to keep playing rugby. Boy, he's dumb. Anyway, and it just kind of follows them. There's also stuff that goes on at Shannon's home that she doesn't tell anybody. Shannon, yeah, home. She doesn't tell anybody, and it's kind of just like the story of them. It's technically like a character study. There's no plot, but I didn't feel like there was no plot because like we were following them, but like obviously compared to like a fantasy series or stuff like that, there's no like plot, like overarching. I don't know if that's actually a word, but like it's not a big plot, it's just following them. It's a character study book or whatever. Anyway, and I really love this book. It's so good. It's like, oh my goodness, it's 5,000 stars. If I didn't say that, 5 stars, a million, perfect. Will accept no criticism on this. Also, it's technically a YA, but there's definitely a content warning in the front of the book. I think it says 16, if not 18 up. It says in America, at least, it says 16 up. So just like look up the trigger warnings and stuff. But it's so good and I love it so much. And oh my goodness, I could literally like, it's so bad. The obsession with this is so bad. Anyway, the next book I read was Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. It's the second book. Um, in the Boys of Tommen series, and it continues to follow Johnny and Shannon. I feel like I can't really talk about it because there's like stuff. Obviously, the second book, so like spoiler, but it's basically like just continues following them and like Johnny finding out about like Shannon's home life and all this stuff, and it's just so good. And like I could literally cry thinking about it. A million stars. This is my favorite book of the month. So good. Anyway, also if you read it, this cover, I read it on my Kindle because it's on Kindle Unlimited, and then I got this afterwards because I was so obsessed with that I needed the physical copies, and I didn't notice until like, actually, yeah, I guess when I bought it. This right here. If you read the book, you know, but yeah, this literally, I could keep talking about this, but I also don't want to spoil it, and it's so good. Like literally, go read it right now if you actually think you're gonna like it. If you don't like it, don't read it because I don't want people to like not like it and then like hate on it because yeah. Anyway, but go read Finding 13 and then Keeping 13 because it's so good. And then the next book I read was Wild Love by Elsie Silver. This is in her Rose Hill series, and they're all single dads, and they all live. They're called Rose Hill. Yeah, in Rose Hill. This one follows Ford Grant. So if you read Chestnut Springs, he's Willa's brother from Willa is in Heartless, and so he's her brother. Anyway, and it follows Ford Grant. He just found out he has a daughter, and she has to come and stay with him. She's like 13 or 12. No, she's not 13. 12. She's 12. She's actually, her name's Cora, I think. And she's low key so funny, and I love her, and all the scenes with her, I was dying. Anyway, but he has to go and raise her, and then his like best friend sister comes back to town, and he's basically been in love with her since forever, and she ends up working with him, so it's workplace romance, I guess. And yeah, it just follows them. Rosie, she's the female main character, and she was living in the city, and then she came back after like some stuff happened, and basically needs a job, so Ford gives her the job, and then they just kind of go from there. It's a romance book, so spoiler alert, they fall in love, but you'll just have to read it and see. Also, like, oh, also it was 5 stars because it was an Elsie Silver book, and it was so good. Ugh, go read Elsie Silver. Anyway, the next book I read was Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. It's the second book in the Rose Hill series, and well, when I read these two, they were the only two books out, and then the third one just came out. It was so good. Anyway, but this one is following West. West. I always forget if they call him West or West because his name is Weston. Weston. Anyway, West, and this I think so. I don't know now after this last book came out, but this is like my favorite Elsie Silver book that I've read, and it's so good. Maybe I should tell you what it's about. So Weston Belmont, he is Rosie's brother. So the girl that the female main character from the first book's brother, and he's like lives on a ranch and trains horses. Is that what he does? Yeah, and it's so good. And Skylar, what's her last name? Skylar Stone is a country singer, and he's been a fan of her forever. Wait, anyway, and it's so cute. And she, hold on, what happens? Oh yeah, she finds out like some stuff about her life. I don't. So she decides to come to Rose Hill because there's a record um label there. It's actually Ford's. Is that a spoiler? I don't think so. It's not that big of a deal anyway. She goes and she's comes to Ford's record label. Is that what it's called? Yeah. And to like work on new music and stuff. And um she ends up having to live not with West, but like on his property because West's property lines up with Ford's property, and that's where the record label is. So she stays on his property, but not like on in his house. Anyway, and West has these two little kids, and they're so cute. I think they're probably like my favorite kids in books. Actually, that's so false because Boys of Tommen. So just kidding. Sorry, but they're so cute. It's Ollie and Emmy, and Ollie is this like quiet boy. I don't remember how old is he is like 7 or something. No, I feel like he's older than that. And Emmy, she's like crazy, and it's just so cute, and it's so cute, and I really loved it. I also gave it 5 stars. So the next book I read, this is the last book actually. I have a physical copy of it, but it was Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yaros. And yeah, I am basic, and I'm in love with the Empyrean series, like half the world is. So yeah, I really liked it. Half the time I was confused because I didn't do a reread, and because I read it like read Fourth Wing in Iron Flame like last year in the middle of the year or whatever. So I was kind of confused half the time just because I didn't do the reread. But also, I still absolutely loved it. Some people call this a filler book. I mean, if it was, I still loved it. Maybe I just love a filler book, but I really liked it. It was the stuff that you know about Zayn, though. It was like so sad, but also good. And the ending, I was still confused, but overall, it was good. I gave it 5 stars. Um, so yeah. I feel like I can't really talk about it just because it's the third book, but it basically just continues to follow Violet and Zayden and everybody and like figuring the stuff out. But I think I've halfway like just blocked everything out of my mind from it, because if I think about it too much and the fact that we won't have the next book till like 2027 or something like that, I will crash out. So like I can't think about it, can't talk about it. But 5 stars, it slayed really hard. And that's all the books that I read in January. I will be filming a February one very soon. Like, might just film it quick now. I don't know what time it is. Um, and yeah, stay tuned for TBR video for April, March wrap up, March wrap up, February wrap up, because I'm so late on them. And yeah, if you have video ideas, comment them comment them down below, and follow me on Instagram or Goodreads. They're linked in my bio. And like and subscribe. I feel so weird when I say that. Like and subscribe. But like and subscribe if you like this content. If you like books, you should go get a book and read it. I'm gonna read Taming 7. Probably cry because it's emotionally damaging. But yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye.